Alright, let me skip to the main menu. Because I'm not satisfied with that. I should have probably saved that in the, Alright, let me skip all this. Alright. Let me look up the correct dialogue choices. There are two endings I saw that there's no way I'm gonna get. Alright. Obviously it didn't do that. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright. That's kind of annoying to have to go through all of this. And I don't think this matters. Alright, give me a second. Let me check. Alright, it doesn't matter. Alright, now we just keep on pressing this. And then we press this button again. Wait, give me a second. Alright, doesn't matter. I assume Teddy sacrificed his life. Alright, this is the one. Here we go. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, cool.
You have your life, and now you want your freedom too?
It's your fault that not a-
Alright, I'm gonna skip through this because it's not important. I've already seen it. Alright, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, wait a second here.
We don't have time to wait. If we don't do this now, the cops will come back. What are you trying to say?
We're missing something.
Something we don't know. What don't we know?
Their true
But
feelings.
we just heard the guy's true feelings on TV. What did...
Something's been bothering me.
Well, what is it? I already told... Are you even getting at something?
We're missing something.
Missing? Like what exactly? Damn it, I've heard enough of this. Are we doing this or not?
Calm the hell down.
He's right.
I'm perfectly calm.
Hey, what did you mean by...
What's there to miss with a sick bastard?
Hey, let's all after what happened to Nanako-chan and seeing Dojima-san.
I realize now that we've heard almost nothing from Namatame's perspective. There's no denying that this man brought great harm to... But other than that point, the rest comes from our assumptions based on watching the Midnight Channel a moment ago. I won't deny that we were blinded by the heat of the moment, trying to impute all responsibility to him rashly.
But... yeah, the guy's not saying anything. Whatever reason he had, there's no doubt about the fact that he'd been throwing people inside the TV. It was him who put Senpai through that misery. How can we possibly understand someone who says killing people is the same as saving them?
Failing to understand and... Truthfully, not all the hitches that were nagging at me have been answered yet. We'll have to see what he... Though it appears he's in...
True. Dealing with him right now might not solve all the things that are damn it. But you better remember this. I'll do everything I can to stop him from repeating anytime, anywhere.
Let's just think for now.
Jeez. Then again... Alright. Let's go ahead and...
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, yeah.
I'll think as hard.
We all know how you... Come on.
Right.
Yeah, you're... Sorry.
Alright, cool. Well, I know how to get to this dungeon. And unfortunately, I have spoiled what level the boss is in. Unfortunately. So I just have to be at least like 10 under that for that, so. Huh?
Hey, you guys?
Oh, crap!
We were keeping an eye on the The police officers outside seem to have... If Namatame were to escape, it would be a...
Oh, we'll tighten security from now on. So, if you guys can keep quiet about being in here.
How is he, Doctor?
He seems fine. Outside.
Understand.
We should go too. So what's...
To tell the truth, why did he start... Well, he said himself it was to save... So, he killed his lover and...
The police speculated the first murder was related to the affair, so they called in Namatame. But everything in his testimony and his bearing, no matter what they looked at, if he truly is twisted enough to believe that murder is a means of...
Maybe he faked, or maybe he started out with a normal motive and got it.
No, if that were the case, his motive for killing that announcer would... Namatame and his wife were set. Both Misuzu Hiragi and himself testified that she had Hiragi also knew about Yamano beforehand, and Namatame... Their relationship was known and was not strained to the point of murder. The police invested a great deal of effort into investigating this point. Therefore, we have no convincing... Although, her name...
His reason for...
It's still possible that he was crazy to begin with, and no one...
Oh!
Hey, we could hear you in there. This is a hospital. Maybe you should...
Oh, there you are. Please come with...
Huh?
What are you waiting for?
It still doesn't really make sense. I know who the bad guy is. Actually.
Where is this? This doesn't quite feel... I remember being... That's right. I couldn't do anything. Why do I even I couldn't. I lost my... I remember. So... Guys... Sensei... What should I...
One thing I don't really understand, because Adachi, like, I know who the bad guy is. Unfortunately, it's been spoiled through me
there
through
they are.
memes.
Nanako-chan came around.
Huh? What? Nanako-chan's alive.
It's very rare to be resuscitated
like, I'm
after
playing
one's
through the
heart
whole-
and lungs fail, but it does happen.
I'm playing through the whole game now. I'm just like how? Why?
Until I know why she collapsed in the first place, I can't say for sure how well she'll recover from here on.
Excuse me.
Still, Nanako-chan's a fighter, and she's trying desperately to stay alive.
So this isn't a joke? You're actually telling the truth?
Nanako-chan. Oh my god.
This is amazing!
Miracles do happen.
I didn't know what I was gonna do.
You all should... I'll speak with Dojima. It's rather chilly outside. If it starts snowing, be careful.
I noticed he didn't come with us when we went to Namatame's room.
You're right. That's weird. I figured he wouldn't move from Nanako-chan's side.
Teddy.
Oh yeah, he has a cell with him. Wait, I shouldn't use... I'll try call...
Alright, another question. Why didn't you do that in the other ending?
Couldn't save Mayumi. I couldn't save. Huh? What's the matter? Feeling guilty all of a sudden?
I can't reach him.
We took a quick look around the hospital.
Oh, it's snow. Hey, you're right. It doesn't look that pretty though, because...
I guess this makes it the first snow of the year. Hey Yosuke, if you find Teddy, don't...
I know. Man, that Ted, he's probably fine. Well...
Uh... Alright, well, I'm gonna save over that. It's fine. Yeah, but unfortunately... Well, one thing I'm gonna say is that, like, I don't think if I play this again, it'll be obviously off stream. I don't...
Welcome. It's been quite some time. Do not be alarmed. I have summoned you. Now then, do you believe you'll be...
I can solve it.
Splendid! The precise destination of this vehicle. That too is getting rather hard to... If we continue driving blindly, we... Well, why don't we... It was for that, Margaret.
What's right? What you should choose to do in life? The answers to those things lie within you.
We are experiencing the words engraved into your memory during your journey.
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things.
Alright, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right. Together.
And it seems you have comrades with you as well.
We'll be parked for the moment while I can...
As I mentioned previously, though there isn't much time left,
People are like water flowing in a river. There is only one stream, but all who pass through it are affected differently. Some travel fast. Some change their course, experiencing countless of...
Just the state of this room reflects the scenery of your heart. Perhaps this may be a time for contemplation.
Teddy, I looked all over the neighborhood, but... Yeah, me too. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV. We're meeting pretty soon.
It's no use, man.
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything. I wish I could do better.
Ted. Don't tell me. We told him over and over that he... I guess that's all. He plays dumb a lot, but he's attached to us deep down.
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but let's trust in him and await his... It won't be long before not... We must hurry, or we will...
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
Let's quickly review. Of all the victims, only 2 were killed. Miss Yamano, the announcer? From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them. After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted. It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act.
I want to hear you put it like that.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer? That's what's bothering me.
Right. Either he's completely nuts, or we're misunderstanding.
You lost me.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't. Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw.
When he talks about saving people, I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them in.
Could he mean saving them through? He did call himself a savior and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
Also, one thing about his boss design, since he's a savior, so he's like a peace-loving hippie? Was it what they went for the boss design?
So they'll be saved if they die? What a bunch of crap! What do you think, Senpai?
There's someone else.
If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him.
There's something I've been wondering about. When we first encountered him, you're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too. So, if he saves people by killing them, wouldn't he actually have failed?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan.
Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims by putting... Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just say the first dumb thing that pops into my...
The possibility that he truly...
But he's still the one who threw in Saki-senpai in the... Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but that doesn't change the fact... Or what? You think someone else was involved? Morning letter.
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the...
Let's review. Yes, that's right.
Isn't that kind of odd? Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like, don't rescue or kill?
Yeah, and the will be put in and killed part doesn't make sense. If the killer was writing it, wouldn't it be...
Hey, yeah, it's almost like someone...
But only the killer would write such a letter and deliver it to Dojima. If someone else...
Dear God. Since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident...
So, Namatame really was trying to save it?
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed. In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first two cases when the victims died. If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the... It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote...
Someone else? It wasn't Namatame that killed
We can't. We urgently need to speak.
How though? After what happened yesterday...
I have... But there's no time.
Oh wait, we're on the endless cutscene part.
Hey, this place is off limits.
I'm a consultant. I'd like a few words with Namatame.
This is Unit 252, requesting confirmation on an ID. Name of Naoto... Ah. Well, I can give you a few minutes, but I'll have to not that I expect you'll get anything coherent.
I'd like him. He has no identification, but this is an emergency situation, and he's here in Detective Dojima's stead.
Huh? Detective Dojima-san?
I'll vouch.
Well, I guess it's better than dealing... We have our hands full with the transport procedures, so the last thing we need is Detective Dojima running wild. Detective Adachi is busy. This is Unit 25. There's something about a suspicious...
Ah, well then. You should back up your colleagues downstairs. A disturbance in a hospital lobby, after all. It sounds serious.
A bomb!
If anything happens, hit the nurse call button. I'll leave...
I knew they were undermanned, but I didn't expect it to go this smoothly.
Right.
Wow!
There's nothing much inside that suspicious object. So he won't be gone long.
All right. And now's our chance to talk.
Namatame-san, there's something we'd like to ask you.
Okay.
It's tempting to think that you were the culprit behind this entire case. And to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are, but we are here to learn the...
Huh?
Who'd you throw in first?
Huh?
Okay. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Cool.
They were killed. I couldn't save them.
Okay. Okay, this kind of makes sense. So the first two were actually killed. And then he's just
No.
like, I'll save
If
you!
nobody saves them, they'll be killed. That's why I put them in there.
Then tell me if my estimation is correct so far.
Also, because I looked it up, apparently, since my... I'm sorry you had to hear that, that's pretty gross. No. Anyway, because I looked it up, apparently you had to have Marie at a really high rank. So...
After discovering the Yamano and Konishi incidents, you realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain... Thus, to save her from that fate, you kidnapped Yukiko Amagi. You couldn't let her be killed, so you threw her into the TV, preventing the killer in this world from reaching her. And you repeated the process, as more individuals appeared on the Midnight Channel. It all fall. His body is weak, but his mind is sound.
Yeah, but
There's another killer who
Indulge.
I didn't know. I never thought it would be that kind of place. I have no idea. I want to know that too. What are you talking about?
As
You... Did they find him? Did they find the one who did such cruel things? Mayumi.
Please calm down. We know about the other. In fact, we're the only ones who can.
we did blame you for... But now I think we can accept whatever you got to tell us as truth.
Please, tell us everything you can, calmly.
You will... All right. Soon after my affair with Mayumi became common knowledge, I returned to my parents' home, as if to run away from the scandal, and I started drinking heavily to drown my anxieties. I hadn't been able to reach Mayumi at all, and that didn't help either. Mayumi, where are you? She'd been disgraced on all the afternoon shows, and forced to resign from the program she was on. I caused her so much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that. I lost the will and energy to do anything. Then, one day, the rumor I heard some time ago. Since I had nothing better to do, I sat down blankly in front of the TV and watched my own reflection. And all of a sudden, there was Mayumi.
Mayumi? Is that you? The Mayumi inside the TV looked as if she was calling to me for help. Mayumi? Mayumi! When I reached out unthinkingly to touch her, my arm disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water. I was so shocked that I lost my balance. I was so scared. I couldn't understand what just happened. I thought maybe I'd gone insane. In the end, I decided to think of it as just a dream, and I went back to the city the next day after finishing. The next afternoon when I got to work, I was fired on the spot, as I expected. That wasn't what broke me, though. It was Mayumi being found dead. And not just that, but it had happened in my hometown. I was dumbstruck. But later on, I remember the image of Mayumi I'd seen that night. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again, and I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help? That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
I remember that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV program. I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban legend. But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's questions. I'd lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself. Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. She looked like she was calling for help. The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this...
And that was Saki-san.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found Mayumi's body. And if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did, so I desperately kept watching. Then,
It became
How did you find out it was...
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits. I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store. After agonizing over it, I decided to meet her and told her to be careful. But that same night, she looked as if she was being engulfed by some black shape. She was writhing in pain. That's why I warned her. Why won't she pick up the phone? Come on! Please!
Come on! Get to the chopper! Come on! Sorry.
The next day, I knew she was gonna be murdered, but I couldn't save her. I blamed myself, thinking there must have been something I could have done. There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work, not even my wife. Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was. But she was murdered, and the same person killed another girl. I was
You really did love Miss Yamano.
Yes, from the bottom of my heart. Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a...
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election. She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but she gave meaning to my... Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV. That She'll be kidnapped next. And murdered. I can't let her end up like Mayumi and that other girl. This time, my opponent was a murderer who left no clues to his identity. I thought hard about what I could do to protect. I'll never convince her. If she gets suspicious and they... The girl inside the TV looked, and that's when I apparently had the power to go through. Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her?
I mean,
What are
that
you trying to
kind
tell
of
me?
makes
That it's
sense.
safe over there? Is that it? The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again, and I thought, no matter what kind of place it might be, it's better than being slaughtered. Once things calm down, I could just let her out again. If she's inside the TV, there's no... It felt as if everything was starting to come together in my mind. Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from... Was it my mission to save people? But there was a big... If I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already... It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my... Or so I... Mayumi.
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us.
Mission? Give me a break! You never stopped and wondered about...
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me. I knew the area well, thanks to my job. I had a large truck. I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect... But... Are you...
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die. Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril. It was my friends here who really saved us all.
I had a... When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time...
You refer to Nanako.
The police were after me, so... But I still felt I needed to do everything. That's why I went. But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place. I knew that the three of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world... I never knew. You couldn't even get out of that place on your own.
No. That's a cowardly way to... I'd probably already begun to realize that it was a dangerous place. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have gone to
See us? Wait, are you talking about the concert?
Yes. I wanted to know why the ones I saved were all hanging out with each other, and how much you were... But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to say anything and ran home. I must have felt too guilty. But all the doubts and anxieties I'd been unconsciously suppressing exploded out when I entered the television myself. I thought I was going insane. And you know the rest. When I came to...
You really were trying to...
Yeah, in his own twisted, fucked up way,
ended up
man.
doing just the opposite. What a... I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society.
Well, you can't be useful if you become a politician.
But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left was this power. I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary. I never doubted what I saw on TV and believed everything was as I wanted it to be. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect them. I'm to blame for all of this.
I really want to know what, like, Namatame's boss design is based off of, personally.
I suppose so. But the things I've done are too serious to be brushed aside like
What's
that.
done is done, dude. You're gonna go through the court of law, and I don't know, you're just gonna get fucked up or something.
I have no intentions of running away from my... Kidnapping is already a serious crime. And on top of that, I put all those lives in danger. I'm sorry.
The Midnight Channel and the other world? You can hardly be blamed for failing to understand. We must apologize. Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the responsibility on you.
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started. The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing.
I'm such a joke. I'm sorry.
What are you all crammed in here for?
My apologies. We'll be...
Wait. I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who know about that world.
It's all clear now. He never... It was another party who threw the...
Alright, so I feel like we're just gonna get endless cutscenes from this point on.
Okay. I told you, he's almost ready to be... Sheesh.
Sheesh! Sorry, I'm yawning.
Nanako-chan looks like she's in pain. She's fighting for dear life.
This was the last place we saw Teddy, right?
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
I mean, like, after this point, it's kind of obvious who it is, because, like, the killings took place in one town, and then they moved to a different one, and there's only, like, 4 characters who are from out of town. You, Yosuke, Adachi. Oh shit, there's only 3. Huh.
The police consider the matter closed. We'll have to do all the investigation from here on out. Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents and see if...
But it's been over 6 months.
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on. And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people. We'll meet up in the evening to discuss.
I hope we can find out something.
Alright. Huh! How convenient. Alright. Alright. Wait, what? Okay, cool. I'm wondering, if you don't have access to his town, would you have been fucked? Oh no. Well, she said not from this town, so... Alright, a new NPC has probably appeared. Ah. Alrighty. So I can't do anything? Wait, what? Alright, I'm not done yet, so... Let's just ask people about the murders. Off to the floodplain.
This stuff's a lot harder when you don't have a badge to flash. I walked around all day and didn't hear anything good.
It was the same for me. There was absolutely no talk about the case whatsoever, let alone the true culprit.
Ditto for me. Actually, in my case, I kept getting bombarded with questions and couldn't get them onto the main subject at all. The killer must be pretty good to have pulled this off with.
What should we do?
Well, one steak bowl, please.
That's not what I meant. But then again, I'll have a crab and egg fry.
I'll have roast pork ramen with...
Let's share what we learned. So, there really was...
The police had an unusually large number of officers. To find facts that even they overlooked would be difficult indeed. There wasn't a single report of suspicion. Miss Yamano had ardent fans, whereas Saki-san didn't. But otherwise, the conditions...
You know, every time I tried to ask about the case, everyone ignored me and kept ranting about the damn fog.
Yeah, that or the Midnight Channel. I asked around about Teddy, too. Gee, I wonder where he...
Do you have anything now?
But there must be someone in town who meets all the criteria. The killer must have a as well as be in a position to observe our... Finally, it must be someone who could approach Senpai's house without arousing suspicion.
Alright, after that, you should obviously know who it is.
I need some fresh air before...
It's obvious after that point. Come on, it's completely obvious after that. I hate that this was spoiled. Yeah, this was spoiled for me, I think probably maybe about 2 years ago.
It's snowing.
Through memes.
No wonder it's chilly.
Ugh, it's freezing out here. Maybe this'll help clear my head and get my deductive... Hey, is it snowing? Too bad the fog's so thick. What's the matter? Huh? What about him?
Detective Adachi. A member of the police force. That isn't... It would certainly explain the lack of... It's the same reason no one ever reported seeing Namatame.
This is a small town, so everyone must have... And since he's a detective, people definitely wouldn't have thought of him as being suspicious.
In fact, he could use his position to his advantage and hide...
Huh. Well, but we're talking about Adachi... I mean, really? Adachi? He's your tech... Are we really on the right...
Actually, I'm not sure how to put it, but there's something that's been bothering me about him for some time now.
Yeah?
Perhaps it's just my imagination, so I shouldn't speak too...
It's cold.
Adachi's? That can't be. I mean, he said he came to escort Miss Yamano and...
What? Was he at your inn when the announcer was staying there?
When Miss Yamano was staying at our inn, the media were... That's when Adachi-san arrived, saying he'd been assigned to guard her. He told our waitress that fame could be rough.
Guard her? He didn't spend the night there?
Huh. I wonder if he knew Ms. Yamano.
I don't know about that, but I heard he did call out to a girl in my class. I found out this afternoon, but I thought, you know, that's just how cops are. So I didn't think it had...
Detective Adachi also questioned Saki-san, the one who found the announcer's body. I heard it was because there was so little information. It's certainly unusual to question someone with as strong an alibi as hers multiple...
Then you think he had some...
And that something is what connects those two victims? Come to think of it, we've been running into that guy a lot, in all sorts of places. And every time he'd tell us what the police were doing before saying, oops, I said, was that all to throw us?
It would be no problem for him to drop that warning letter into your mail. Not to mention the fact that he can destroy any evidence that might...
Then...
This is still only a 10... This is now... Something has occurred to me about the case, and I'd like to get to... Huh? Right,
What was that about a trans?
Detective Adachi is headed to the hospital to... We must head there.
Huh? Hey, do you know where Dojima-san went?
I assure you, we've made it clear to him several...
Jeez, with Namatame finally relocated, I was looking for...
So, I've been wondering.
Huh? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we can't leave him here with Dojima-san and Nanako-chan around. Didn't you guys think so too? Hey, what are you doing here anyway? Nanako-chan's room is in... Don't you think you should leave before Dojima-san finds you? If he catches you, he'll start pestering you again.
Adachi, there's been a lot of noise today for some reason.
Dojima-san, what are you doing here? Namatame's already been relocated. I was looking for you so I could tell...
You did what? Who authorized that? There's still more?
Give me a break, Dojima-san.
Those first 2 murders have been bothering. His motives are shaky and his alibi is rock solid. We closed a lot of loopholes on the basis of his testimony.
Is this more of your... He's already been relocated. It's no use hassling me about it. And you kids should really get home too. You're gonna get in the way of police business.
What's gotten into you today? It's odd to see you taking work so seriously.
Oh!
Come on! I'm always giving 110% when it comes to the job. You should get back to work too, Dojima-san. Your current assignment? Get better as soon as possible.
What are you all doing?
We came to confirm something with Adachi-san.
The time the announcer went? I can't say for sure offhand. It's not like I saw her or any. That was months and months ago too. My memory's kinda hazy that far. Why wouldn't I question her? She discovered the announcer's body. But she didn't know much about it, so I only talked with her once or twice. Was that all you wanted to ask? Warning letter?
The one that was delivered to his house. It's in police custody now, correct?
I don't really remember.
Uh-huh.
Hey, what do you mean you don't remember? I gave it to you to take down to the crime lab for processing. You're telling me you forgot?
I'm sorry. Your accident was right after that, and what with one thing and another, it sort of slipped my mind. Besides, that thing was just a prank, wasn't it? Jeez, what are you asking me all this for? For crying out loud, what's this all supposed to be about? Dojima-san, you really need to get back to your bed. That's why your wounds aren't healing. And you all need to go home right now. Do you have any idea what time it is? I'm going back. I need to get to the station and report in.
Just one more thing. We know for certain now that the first 2 murders weren't Namatame. Someone else. Adachi-san.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
'Cause we think it might have been you.
What? That's ridiculous. We already know Namatame's the one who put them all in.
What did you just say?
Put them all in.
What's this putting them in business? Do you know something about the method behind their murders? Don't tell me that all that talk about TVs and whatnot from before was...
I see. Now I finally understand. To tell the truth, Adachi-san, I've been fixated on something you once said. Before I didn't know why, only that it sounded a wrong note to me. Do you recall when I read Namatame's diary? at the scene of Dojima-san's accident. At the time, I said, even the victims who survived and were never released to the public are written here. And in response, your words were, wow. Then that settles it. How, I wonder? Would that settle anything? At the time, the police had no idea that there had been other attempted murders related to the case. You had no reason to say such a thing. After all, there are countless examples of people disappearing for a few days. Yet when I read the list of names, you raised no objection. Odd that. What do you say to that?
I don't know. I said I'm busy.
Oh, he did.
Wait, you son of a bitch! Adachi! Ah, damn it! Adachi!
What the? Damn it!
Did you find him? I contacted security. So he must be still...
He's still here?
That...
For heaven's sake.
Sorry.
Do you even want to get better? Have you forgotten how much trouble?
You're right. You've got to find Adachi. I need to...
He hasn't left this war.
Yeah, if he's the killer, he can...
You mean he went in?
We searched every inch in the direction he ran off. There's no...
He was cornered. It's high. If he does indeed turn up on the other side, that should prove...
Damn. So I guess we were...
I think it's too dangerous to go in from here. We're not 100% positive he used this TV, and on top, let's go in from Jeanette. It'll be fine. So long as we're ready for him, we'll crush...